Hey guys, hope you've had a good Christmas and you celebrated it well with your loved ones. So, 2017's been a wild ride, huh? I mean, especially for me. But, as you can tell from the title, that's kind of what this video is about. See, I wanted to do this before the year is out to look back on 2017 and kind of also talk about what life lessons I'm bringing with me into 2018. Firstly, let's get some of the obvious ones out of the way. Yep, I'm talking exams and A-levels. Bet you didn't expect that one. But in terms of all that, this year was definitely an interesting one because I went from doing relatively well on my subjects to being told I was behind on everything. Thanks, teachers, for that self-esteem boost. Really know how to make a girl happy. But in all fairness, that actually prompted me to do something. Along with my other commitments, as we all know, I've genuinely been working my ass off to get back to a place where I am stable, and just a little bit more than that. A place where I am good. And that's really the thing. I found that you can't give your best work when you're not in a good place. So, for me, getting myself back into that good place really structured a lot of the last couple of months. And I had the most amazing people by my side ready to help me with that. People who I know I would help if they asked for it. Holy shit, I sound like I'm dying. Sorry, I am. So, in all honesty, first life lesson is don't take the people you've got around you for granted, because honestly, they can make or break you. And you'd rather be made than broken. Secondly, there were two massive opportunities for me this year, which I took on graciously. And these were two flying scholarships I applied for. A really prestigious one, and one that was, well, lesser known. The prestigious one was the Cotswold Aviation Flying Scholarship, and I applied for that earlier this year, got through to the final 12, but unfortunately did not get through. Got through to the final 20, but unfortunately did not get through to the final 12. Wishful thinking. But my friend who did get through, he told me, yeah, apply next year, you'll get through without a shadow of a doubt. So that's what I'm going to do. And then I also applied for another flying scholarship, which was recommended to me by an old primary school friend, run by the charity Flight Help. It was their Aim High scholarship, which took place at London Oxford Airport, and I spent the week going to places like Rolls-Royce in Bristol, the Aerospace Museum there, the CAE Oxford Aviation Academy, all of that, and that was just amazing. And in fact, I've just applied for a third one as well, or I sent off the application forms to my CO at Air Cadets, so here's hoping. Now, as many of you may know, ever since I was 13, I've been in the Air Training Corps. Now, before you start to roll your eyes, because, oh my god, she's talking about bloody Air Cadets again, hear me out. The past nearly 5 years or so, they have been some of the best years of my life. I have made the greatest friends. I mean, this year I basically became the Steve Harrington of the squadron. You know, if you get Stranger Things references, then you know what I'm talking about. I've had the best experiences. I met Dawn McCafferty last year. I met the head of the act training corps last year, and I've learned a whole lot more about responsibility, about leadership, and about my own personal abilities than I would have done if I had never joined the corps. And obviously aviation is also a big part of the corps, hence why it's called the Air Training Corps. Or, well, they've rebranded now, it's now RAF ACTAS. And it's also been a big part of my family since I was born. These flying scholarships that I applied for and actually did, they've allowed me to further open my eyes to the world of aviation, even if I only got one and not the other. Like I say, you can bet I'm reapplying in 2018. And the friends I've made over the years who share that passion for flying, for being above it all and away from everything, they're probably some of the strongest friends I've got. And it's those friends, those people who have that belief in me, even when I personally didn't believe in myself, who kept me going this year. And especially since I've just been promoted to the rank of sergeant, and I couldn't thank the people, mainly one person, I couldn't thank them more for helping me out to get to that. I could not thank them more for that. And, you know, next year, I'm going to do my best to not listen to the negativity, to block out the criticism unless it is constructive, because that was really what made me feel the worst. It was the people who didn't believe in me, causing me to not believe in me. Because they were the voices in my head that said, you really can't do this. You're not good enough. I was promoted for a reason. Obviously the staff felt I was good enough. Obviously the other NCOs on my team felt I was good enough. And they are going to help me. Every single one of them. Every single member of my squadron is there to help. So people with negativity like that can just take their views elsewhere. Another thing I'd like to touch on is the happenings of summer this year. And I can already hear the comments beginning to start in the comment section. As I'm sure many of you are aware, I did have a boyfriend this year, if only for a short period of time. And I was the one who made the decision to break up with him. Firstly, do I regret what happened between us? No. Absolutely not. You can never really regret your first relationship unless the guy was a total asshole or the girl was a total bitch. You can never really truly regret it because it's a learning experience for the both of you. And that's what's important, really. However, having said that, although I don't regret what happened between us, I do regret the decision I made to actually date him, because I feel like the problem was that I was just in love with the idea of actually being the girl with the boyfriend. Like, people would say to me, oh yeah, how's your boyfriend, Ellie Lennie? That kind of shit. Because so many of my friends at that time were in relationships, and I felt like I was missing out. I mean, yes, I did like Tom at one point. I did. But to be honest with you, I ultimately hurt myself in the process of dating him, because I ended up questioning whether or not the relationship was right for me in that time. Whether or not I was actually ready to be in a relationship. And sure, I'd love to have a boyfriend again. Of course I would. But the next relationship I have is one I don't want to feel forced. One I want to have based off a mutual knowledge and understanding of each other. I mean, the fact that Tom and I had only met just 5 days before we started dating, like, we'd met that Saturday and we started dating on the Thursday, that isn't long enough to start dating someone and start acting in such a way. And it was ultimately peer pressure that we got together, because everyone was saying, oh yeah, you two are hanging out so much, you're going to be the next camp couple. You are going to be the camp couple for this camp. And literally, that was how Tom asked me out. He literally said to me, so, turns out we're going to get camp couple. Do you actually want to be the camp couple? And me being me, of course I said yes. But that's, looking back on it, like, that was not the best way to ask a girl out, and it was not the best response. You shouldn't base a relationship off of who's getting camp couple or whatever. You should base it off actually knowing each other, actually having some sort of background, some sort of history. You shouldn't just rush into a rash decision with that. That's never how it should work. Maybe in another lifetime we'd still be together, but in this one we're not. And personally, I feel it's for the best. Which is why in 2018, if I do in fact get a boyfriend, I kind of want it to be someone who I've known for a while, someone who knows me well, someone who I'm not just gonna date just because, fuck, they're attractive. Someone with shared interests, and yeah, someone who I've got a background with, not just someone I just met. Whew. Anyways, to finish this video off, 2018 is going to be the year where I try harder than ever before. I do my best no matter what, and I make myself happy. Because, to be honest with you, at the end of the day, the important phrase for me to remember, and maybe for you to remember too if you haven't exactly felt like this has been the best year for you, is I can and I will. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you liked it, click like, leave a comment, maybe subscribe, and I'll see you in 2018, hopefully when I sound a bit less like an old man. Bye guys.